Good afternoon from sacred space at Titania's realm. It's the 5th of November 2023, 1:35 p.m. if my laptop's keeping accurate time. It's a miserable rainy day today, and I actually feel a little bit cool. I just had to close the window. Which is strange because it's been scathing hot, previously. So even the weather's going in her little hurdy-gurdy swings and roundabouts ride through the space-time continuum. In the Milky Way galaxy, life is getting weirder and weirder, but also, as always, interesting. As the Chinese say, may you live in interesting times, right? It's been a little bit too interesting, but it's all good. It's all part of the fabric and the warp and weft of life. So my laptop's doing weird shit again, as it does. Anything to sabotage me from my little pathetic attempts at success. It's funny how success has the word suck in it, or cess. Language, people, language. Well, I will suck every morsel of love, light and truth out of every moment, out of every day, and co-create with the gods, because otherwise, what else am I here for, I could quietly osmose in a corner somewhere and just, drool until I die. But we've done that scene. We did that scene. So I'm enjoying my life now at this late stage of things in this zombie apocalypse. And, when the multiverses chooses you to be their favourite little toy plaything, their little meat golem that they're growing up and growing out of the mud and clay and obsolescence, all you can do is play back babies in the nicest possible way, with great humility and respect for the gods, I might add. The only way to win a game is not to play, but if you're not playing and participating in life, you miss out on a lot of fun and a lot of interesting times. We're back to that interesting times thing. So I begin my readings of even date, which start from the 5th of November 2021. I obviously didn't have too much to say about life on this even date on the 2022. So there you go. We've got to work with what I have written down, and we've got to get off this groove and create a new life and paradigm for myself too. But I've been saying that for 58 and a half years, so groovy, baby, groovy. Groovin', smoothin', wax on, wax off, cover me in kisses, baby, cover me in love, never be enough. Well, it will be enough if I find someone genuine one day. I'm the genuine love that I need. I am enough, babies. Sometimes I'm a little bit too much, even for myself, but you get that. So we begin the readings of today's date, 5th of November 2021. 36 years ago, on this day, I laboured. It was also Guy Fawkes night. Standing in the hospital room, watching the fireworks, was an exercise in bathos. The fruit of my womb, slowly emerging from my maternal writhing. Transverse baby, she had to be turned 3 times. Lots of drugs, none of them useful. Even the epidural was botched, and I was still in pain until just before delivery. The fireworks told me she will be a star, a person of great celebrity, a mensch. My little beautiful Scorpio baby was finally released from my recalcitrant, dysfunctional cervix at 6:35 a.m. on the 6th of November. It was an anticlimax, as I was so exhausted and unsupported by her father and the hellhounds that acted as midwives, who at least stood up for me by sending him home in the last few hours of my labour, as he grew more and more emotionally abusive. Why the fuck did I even take my beautiful baby and go home to him, and then have another child with him, and stay for 10.5 years until my sanity and dignity completely eroded? A mother's love and a stubborn determination to thrive and gain mastery and self-determination over my resident evil narcopaths and psychopaths. With hindsight 2020, I should have taken Crystal and ran to some obscure place on the opposite side of this earth, but I had grown up with loveless, sadistic, perverted people. So I naively thought that my ability to love was enough. It wasn't. C'est la vie. Unmothered and unloved women grow up strange, but incredibly powerful when we finally awaken to the bullshit. The sadness never quite leaves me, although I have fought all my life to retain a black sense of humour and a gratitude for my mere survival. So here's to the thriving, which will manifest, no doubt, in the next dimension, if I can't manage to provide it for myself in this one, at this latest horror-soaked stage of my life. Happy birthday for tomorrow to my firstborn, chosen, much adored child, Crystal Natalia Aarons. My love for you never dies, even in the face of so much high strangeness and toxicity. You were and are the light of my life. You and Jasmine were my anchors to this world, my greatest joys, and my most supernal tests of my strength as a mother to strive to get us to safety. I am sorry I failed you because of the pernicious systemic abuses piled up on top of the other ones. It should not have been allowed to happen. None of it. But here I am, alive but proud of my daughters, a family of women beset by evils that would make most people go seriously insane or disappear permanently. The Aarons women are made of extremely powerful stuff, with the gods at our back and real loves manifested as solid, good friendships. We achieved the impossible, and I might add the improbable as well. The 5th of November 2020, the storm is here. Blessed relief from the humidity. I was very unwell today from the barometric pressure. Yuck. Hopefully I will feel better after the rain stops and the air cools. Isn't that interesting? 3 years to the day and we've got rain and cooler air. Complete cyclic repeat on the same groove, the same synchronicities, the same conditions on a repeat loop. Almost anniversarily. It's odd, a little bit odd. I wonder what other repeat cycles I'm being confronted with on a daily basis. 5th of November 2019. I woke up with the words in my head, spread joy, not oi. So I have made my milk offerings to the unseen ones who love me, bless me, and brought me to this season of joy. I feel radiant with light after last night's Tara Puja. I could not sleep and sat up until 3:11 a.m, then finally climbed into bed and even then lay awake a little while longer. I have only had 5 hours sleep. So the prayers and blessings from the radiant beings, human and non-human, that have surrounded me the past few days are up-leveling my energy. I am highly sensitive to changes around me. I woke up to a wild, blustery, witchy wind and smiled. That will clear out any stale pockets of air for Brisbane. Whoosh! Blow out the cobwebs and the heavy humidity that lays like a mouldering blanket of discomfort upon us. Thank you to the Holy One and all the gods, goddesses and fae that have worked so hard to heal me, and my remaining beloved pets, and the land upon which I reside. Ashehekianu, thank you for sustaining me and bringing me to this season of joy. Shehekianu is a Hebrew prayer where we bless the first time something amazingly wonderful has happened, or when we partake of the first fruits of the year, or when we see the first miracle of the year, however it manifests. I celebrated by breaking into the little tin of French violet lollies that my darling Sally gifted me and ate 2. Opulence in my streaming, screaming, dreaming from my beautiful friends who bless me with beauty and love every day. I love you. I love our earth. I love myself in all her fractalized manifestations. I love my remnant brave family. I love my unrequited beloved. I love my pets, and I love my spirits who love me and heal me and bless me with wisdom and vitality and life force and a certain whimsical joie de vivre, and sometimes have to kick me along when I give up on life and love and turn my face to the wall because oi. But they know, the Tanya will always bounce back and there will always be joy again. We are powerful. We are limitless. We are faithful. And we are free. Fifth of November 2018. On this day, 33 years ago, I laboured with my daughter Crystal. It was Guy Fawkes night, and I stood in the hospital room silently watching the fireworks. A star soon to be born after a long, tortuous labour at 6:35 a.m. on 6th of November. But my labouring on Guy Fawkes night reminded me that I have always loved revolution and anarchy and a change in consciousness for a better world. I was hiding in what I hoped would be safety and stability, hiding as a wife and a mother, when in my heart I was always a warrior goddess and shall ever be so. Motherhood, which I had craved so deeply, was my greatest bliss. But the first week of my baby daughter's life was rough. She fought the breast, her own nourishment, and sensed deeply my failure to bond immediately as the drugs, man, divorced me from my own body, and I went into a strange detachment. I floated in and out of my own body, and only a cleaning woman in the room I was in brought me back to reality and my crying, scared, hungry newborn. I have been overcompensating for those first few days of unreality and abandonment all my life. When I fell in love with my stubborn, recalcitrant baby around day 5, it was a smouldering, all-consuming fire in my newly empty womb. My heart melted and fused with hers. My tiny baby became my obsession. I constantly kissed her and smothered her and upheld her. Why? I realised we were quite alone. My husband and mother were evil and toxic, but I had something precious to live for, to fight for, and to grow for. My crystal. Naturally, at 20, as such a young woman, I sacrificed my freedom for her. By the time Jasmine was born 18 months later, I knew I had to survive as a woman and a mother. So I did the best I could to get us through. Even now I am amazed how I did that, while surrounded in a sea of enmity, one that shared my bed with me. A constant stain and drain on my soul. Maybe my depression saved me. I was too tired to fight back. But somewhere around 27, I started to realise that I had a right to a safe, happy life too. So I grabbed at it. Oh, how safety eluded me. It took decades. It took the death of my mother and getting myself free of idiots. It took everything I had and then some. But here we are. Tomorrow my firstborn is 33. Actually, tomorrow she'll be 38. Time has marched on like a blip in eternity. It's marched on and yet the memories are as fresh as a daisy. She is bright, beautiful, fierce like me. She is all I ever dreamed of, my star. She will faint and pitch and toss with me, as she will never fully comprehend who I am, and I accept that. Mine was not an ordinary existence. I was not born of good, kind people. I was spawned and whelped by monsters. I had to survive them all, and that takes its toll on a woman and strains all her relationships, most damaging of all those with her own children. But it also edifies and promulgates a certain bizarre sense of greatness, a sense of awe amidst the slurry and filth of the battlefield. I wipe my face with my own tears and my own blood and stand sanctified and proud, for I have loved and been loved. That was my gift from the gods. May my daughters know real, authentic, good, kind love and go forth in fecund joy, prosperity, bliss and peace. May they never ever live in fear because of men, or know hunger, thirst or degradation. May their souls shine from within their eyes and light the world up and inspire and bless those still scrabbling in the dust. For only stars can shine light in the darkest depths of the abyss and leave a guidepost for others to follow. Blessed be. And later, written later on that day, I sat beneath my skin and watched emotions carve their way through my epidermis, like burrowing, clawing worms, writhing in ecstasy, squirming in delight, power manifesting from within. I scratched the itch that crawled out on my freckled, sun-kissed, white, but furiously formed skin. The fingernails cleaved like daggers, a momentary relief, swimming in my own bile and sailing on my own valour. That Viking valour I seem to have inherited from my ancient ancestors. The psychic vampires sucked too much this weekend, left a stain upon my heart, so I cut and purge and resurge. Fools know not whom they stand before. Fool, not even themselves. But there was great beauty and kindness too, and a settling of old debts which came unexpected as a sign that I am indeed valued. Lovely. I cleave to the actualization that I am whom I am. AA, Asher, AA. Nothing more, nothing less, and no one other than myself. I watch the world die and clap my hands with triumph and glee. Time, the great equalizer, sits behind me and soothes my naked, scratchy back. Space opens wide the eternal vistas of possibility. Fret not, little one, there is more than this earth awaiting you. You have not failed in your mission. even if it feels that way. Your ways are those of pleasantness and peace, even as you fight me, the abyss. One woman's abyss is another's mountain to conquer. Come to me when you are ready, and we shall fly. The dreamer can only smile and sigh. Sigh sighs. Everything that was taken from me is coming back to me. The sweet memories, the oblivion, the bliss. Most of all, the love and honour and integrity. Those who thought me crazy or stupid and abused and debased me, attacked me and my children, are still reaping their karma, and I am well satisfied with my awakening. Thank you, God, the eternal judge, who never gave up on me. You sent me out into the night, into dark, evil, dangerous places. But I remained true to myself, and I was healed. A woman of valour, my worth far above rubies, even though my bride price still rather chaotically remains $20. Laughing. November 5th, 2017. I just had a funny thought on that note. I was gifted 4 Jack Daniels at $5 each, which equates to $20. My joking bride price, and that reference refers to my mother paying young men, family, friends, $20 to take me out on a date and show me a good time, right? $20. It's degrading, is what it was. But that's the in joke there, that I was only worth $20. No wonder I up-leveled to my prices far beyond rubies, and you can never afford me, motherfuckers. But as I said, I'm not about the money. I thought that was degrading. My mother paying men to take me out like I was some freak, right? She paid my ex-husband to date me too. I'm quite certain of that. The fucking pigs, both of them. Never mind. I got something out of that relationship. I got my daughters, and I got the estrangement that went with that as well. So thanks for nothing, kids. You have to laugh. You have to laugh or you'd go completely insane. But it's okay. Life is a concentric cycle. To every season, turn, turn, turn. And each time see the same conditions, but look at it from a renewed mind and a renewed heart with circumspection, and see it for how it really was and is. And maybe one day I'll get off that nightmarish groove and create a life for myself where I am truly deeply loved and treated with honour and respect and genuine care, like I'm witnessing with my beautiful friends in the band, that want me to thrive and want to bless me. Real men with real heart who are generous of heart, mind, spirit, and would be with their body if they were single. We don't want them being too generous with that though, babies. little bit of decorum. But they're good men. They are good men. And I'm grateful and happy to be surrounded by truly good men. If you're going to be generous with your penis, boys, make sure you're available and single, and you're not a blow in and a blow out, because I'm not gonna bother with you for that. I can't be bothered. I've been pristine and celibate and asexual for almost a decade. Why would I relinquish that for someone that's playing me false? Like, literally, fuck off. But I'm delighting in my beautiful men who love me platonically and respectfully. I am delighting in it. And it's inspiring me to open up layer by layer, blossom by blossom, like a beautiful water lily, growing out of the filth and the bathos and the horror of my past and blooming. And as you know, water lilies die off, at the end of their season. They return to the mud like Persephone returning to Hades. And then comes spring, there's always another flowering. And that, boys, is my magic. And if you're ever there for the full sexual flowering, consider yourself doubly blessed, because it's a magic that is not gifted to just anyone. I had to learn that the hard way, to conserve my spiritual sexual energies, to grow me back as well. And I'm deeply, deeply powerful, and no one with even half a brain or a fragment of their soul left dares ever fuck with me. Remember that. I'm a very nice, kind, honourable, decent woman, but fuck with me and the consequences will be thine own doom, because I had to fight back from my own death and destruction multitudes of times. So my angel, left side, right side, above, below, within, without, protects me. And if you get to meet my angel, you will know I'm not lying about this. It is a terrifying, awe-inspiring event that a few have had that encounter and realised they should not have had their hands on my throat. They should not have tried to destroy me. One is still paying for that karma in the next dimension. And he found out, crossing over, he found out the value of my heart, mind, body and soul. So he had to hammer on my door and beg for my forgiveness, right? Too little, too late. Don't come to me as a spook or a zombie or a dead thing. You want my forgiveness, boys. You come to me fully alive and conscious and aware, and you get down on your knees before me and you fucking apologise, or you'll be taking my wrath with you to the next dimension for however long it takes until I join you in the ether. And karma is karma, baby. We can keep doing this dance for eternity, but I choose not to. I have a life that is beautiful and blessed, that I rebuilt from too fucking many ground zeros. So now they want to write songs from my own words, sing the songs of the people, and they're not really capable of comprehending my magic. Sad but true. They want to steal from my life force, my energy, my chi, and my goddess quality as well. I was willing to gift it to them too. Willingness and sweetness. There should be a song made about my willingness and my sweetness, because although I carry my darkness, it is my sweetness that actually supersedes all of that. But these people will never know. They don't have the calibre. They don't have the strength or the courage or the corazon. It's sad. It's quite sad, but it is what it is. 5th of November 2017. I got through the day without needing pain relief until now. I just took 2 Panadol. I'm just wondering if I want to go on about being sick, but 2017 was a bad year. I just took 2 Panadol osteos. My lower back is aching, also my elbow. Jaw has calmed down a lot, but the gums are still raw and tender. Yes, I flapped my gums over vapoured, empty, cruel, sadistic men to the point I broke my own TMJ joints. Never fuck with the Tanya ever again. I also took some Ventolin and Serotype as I've started coughing again. Storms forecast for tomorrow, and I can feel the change in temperature and barometric pressure. I have to get up at 6:30 to 7 a.m, so I need sleep. But I am not taking an NDAP, as not in a lot of pain as I have been in the past 11 days. So of course it is hard to sleep. Gonna give it another go though. Lila Tov, that means good night. And my cousin Megan. Getting there, cousin. One of the strongest goddesses I know. Keep striving for wellness, cousin. And she indeed is a healer, encouraging me. So much over the years she encouraged me. As only someone that shares the same bloodlines of the Phillips clan knows how to do, as we were beset by the same monstrosities. Guy Fawkes night in Britain and New Zealand tonight. I remember well the fireworks, the bonfires, and the guy. I was in labour on this night 32 years ago. Aye, bollocks. But I remember that night and day still. Would I do it all again? Doubtful. My greatest joys became my worst horrors. Such is my life. 2:09 p.m. I woke up at 1:50 p.m. It took 2 NDAPs to get to sleep last night. Now I just feel stoned and woozy, hot and wrung out. I have poured yogurt down my throat as it soothes the dry, sore throat, but will settle my gut biome, which are fighting this current illness, and slides down the neck effortlessly, sweet and cooling. I slept about 12 hours. Now I am upright. The pain in my jaw is gnawing away like a dying rat. Oh well, I get up at the crack of dawn tomorrow to see my dentist. Crazy. I pray this ordeal is over soon. 9 days of TMJ pain, plus the 2 days of headache that started before that. Since Wednesday the 25th of October. Too much for too long. Oh well, cry me a river and pull my socks up. This shall pass, and in the meantime, the day is sunny, the birds are singing, the neighbourhood is peaceful, listening to my fountains tinkling on the pond. Life is beautiful. Might as well have gone dancing. Insomnia. I took 1 NDAP at 12:30 a.m. and then another at 1:30 a.m. Still wide awake an hour later. So annoying. And my stupid, feckless, malevolent, big pharma, filleting GP kept trying to force those drugs on me, when here we have the evidence. They didn't work. None of it worked on me. 3 years writhing in agony. The drugs don't work, but they'll push them on you anyway till you burn out more organs and lose gallbladders and livers and kidneys and, oh, God only knows what else, what other damage they wreaked in my life. The filthy fucking animals. And then I wasn't able to even afford CBD cannabis oil for my anxiety and my trauma issues. Another scam. Man, some days I could actually do with a little bit of sweetness and gentleness in the form of cannabis, but I can't afford it, and I don't know any dealers anymore, so there is that. I mean, I've never been one to take drugs, never. But there's certain times in your life when you just need that little bit of a buffer, you know, just to take the edge off. But I'm okay. I had a beautiful night Friday night dancing, and I had a few drinky poos, and you know, I'm content. I don't drink during the week. I just have a few little drinks in my, you know, while I'm dancing wildly. I don't need it. I just have it because I feel like it. And then I go home in recovery mode, you know, as I am now, still in recovery mode. But I actually feel quite good. I feel better than the weekend 2 weeks ago when I was coming down with COVID and didn't know it. Man, I was hammered after the dance that weekend. I was completely zombified, like I hadn't been in a zombie state like that for a long, long time. So it came as quite a shock, but I knew I was incubating something to be that unwell, that weakened. 5th of November 2016. When I feel sad, so I go and have a little rest, and Beauregard decides to smother me, literally, with love bombing. By the way, I'm not topless, it's just a bad camera angle, lol. So I probably had a photo of me with Beauregard, but Vocal Media has taken it down, probably because I mentioned the word topless, because they're so stupid they take everything literally. You could see I wasn't topless, but it is what it is. Anyway, little Beauregard of now blessed memory, he used, when he was feeling smoochy, and I'd be sitting on the couch or lying on my bed, he'd put the side of his face, because I used to kiss his cheek. It was our thing. I used to kiss his cheek. Yes, I kiss my animals, and yes, some people are appalled by that and think it's filthy. I don't care, you know. It's not like I'm kissing tongue to tongue like you would with a human man, which is even more disgusting when you think about it. So I used to kiss his cheek, and he would press his little face across my nose and mouth, which literally smothered me with my asthma. I'd be like, can't breathe, and I'd have to shove him off me. And then if I shoved him off me, he'd be like, but why, Mama? I love you. And he'd come back in and he'd smother me again. And he was just such a beautiful dog. And I miss him. And I miss him smothering me now, even though it made it hard to breathe. You know, I wouldn't let anyone else make me struggle to breathe like my beautiful little boy used to do, because it was cute and innocent and sweet. And he was a little bit oblivious that he was literally taking away my breath. I need to sell everything except my most favourite things. That, you know, I'm circling a drain of depression when I want to like get rid of everything and escape, right? That's when I'm not well. Recalibrate my life, find new purpose, fly free of the past, or mould the shit into spiritual gold and shine by example, like a spray-painted dog turd by Pope Alice, lol. And then I posted a YouTube video of the song My Favourite Things. My half-sister, the mistress of lies and denial, favourite song of my childhood. She fed me with great lies too. But you know, when a dog bites, when a bee stings, I've got Bobo. He's a nut like me. He was a nutty dog. He really was a nut like me. But happy memories. Happy memories. 5th of November 2015. 8:13 p.m. Just woke up. Just as a lovely electric storm hit. I think we're brewing one again today. It's like very, very, very grey and oppressive outside. Very, very smouldering, smothering, winnowing. I ran outside, brought in all the washing I did last night, closed up the chicken coops just in the nick of time. Here she blows. Lots of delicious, soothing summer rain. I got to chat to Crystal in the early hours of this morning. She was in the UK at that time frame. Tomorrow is her 30th birthday. I miss my baby so much. She looked happy though. She has a work visa for London which begins on 28th of December, so next year she will be acting in London. Her dream is to tread the boards for the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. I am so proud of my beautiful girl. So blessed to be her mother, even from a distance. I'm utterly exhausted, but sleeping heaps, so hopefully this train of bad health pulls into a dead-end station and I take my baggage and catch a new one to better health, happiness, peace, and true love. It all starts with me, from inside me. Okay, weird. The 5th of November 2014. Okay, weird. I was cutting up dried banana leaves for my betta, which is Siamese fighter fish, with scissors, and somehow I knocked a small knife off the counter. It hit my right foot, point down, and drew blood. Then when I came to sit on the couch a minute later, I had a strong smell of marijuana. Really weird, pungent smell. The knife went in deepish, and it is now only just bleeding. For fuck's sake, why do I constantly hurt my feet without even trying? The knife was sharp, as I had just sharpened all my kitchen knives a few days ago. The smell of weed is coming through my windows. Must be people across the road, but it has travelled far to stink up my lounge, lol. And my friend Lynn Sloan said, if that's the case, then your little rooster might sleep in for a change. Hope your Tootsie will be okay. It's a funny thought, getting my little rooster stoned so that he'll sleep in. Oh, bless. And Julie Goddard wrote, I've been getting the scent of weed in the strangest places for the last week. And I replied, I just smudged my whole house as on Tuesday night something was around affecting Crystal, so we had to smudge ourselves and say Psalm 23, something very weird around. The knife and the marijuana smell made me smudge the entire house tonight. Jared's suggestion. Tomorrow I will play loud music and salt the perimeter of my property. I can't have anything negative around, as we are all so sensitive. The trippy thing is we just found out that Crystal is a natural trance medium, but I blocked it as we were not doing anything spiritual, but we're talking about some songs she had been hearing during the day. Then, bam, full on. I am glad it happened with me and not some stranger unbeliever. they would have freaked out off their face. As it was, I had to remain calm to make sure Crystal was okay. And my friend Roscoe Conti, who I knew from Irish Murphy's days, he was one of the security guards there who was wonderful to me, wrote, "Fuck that, go hunt down that weed." Tempting thought. Me, it did smell very enticing, but stoner spooks are a bit of a worry, laughing my ass off. Gail came to visit and told me I am constantly persecuted because I am a woman for the way I dress and my flamboyant personality, and as long as I stay in this parochial backwater, it will continue. Well, she was right about that. I know I would fit in Byronshire, but I can't afford to rent privately, so I have to remain here and stand my ground or risk losing the only secure home I have ever known, and live in a caravan park in Byron, which would mean losing my hens, cats and goldfish ponds and my beautiful garden. I am so distraught. Poverty and constant discrimination against me means there is nowhere to go, either to enjoy my social life or even live. It's so fucked up. And my beautiful friend Sally wrote, "Hope you find somewhere to dance, Tanya. Keep on going." Which I have done. Formulating my open letter to Courier Mail. If anyone wishes to bring their own negative experiences to my attention, i.e. unfair discrimination based on being a woman and a vulnerable member of society in the pubs and clubs, please private message me. It's time we stopped being falsely accused of being troublemakers and actually brought these issues to light. Seriously considering forming my own club or pub for women and feminist men only. Sick to death of being abused in pubs for being a female who happens to like live music and dancing. Time to do our own thing, sisters. If I had money, I would start my own pub or club yesterday. And I wrote, how can you affect change in the culture of violence when women like myself are banned from Irish Murphy's for asking security for protection when my assailants were on the dance floor? How is it just and fair to kick out the victim for asking to be protected? What the fuck is wrong with men in positions of power that constantly abuse women and time and again get away with it? When will I be treated as something less than subhuman or a freak of nature for standing up for myself? And why did the pub management accuse me of lying when they have not bothered to return my calls? Supreme discrimination and cowardice. The emotional, physical, sexual violence is prevalent, not just in the home. And that was a comment on an article in The Guardian. Culture of hostility to women leads to domestic violence, say police chiefs. You think? There's such passive, even their language is passive, unable to protect women in our society. And that's including policing. They're disgusting is what they are. Helen Clark and her babies, never ever forget. Never. Never forget how many attacks on my life and my children's lives we survived with no help from Queensland Police. They are disgusting is what they are. And that's my truth, and I will hold to it till the day I die. It's why I have weapons strategically positioned all around my garden, because was it last year? It was last year. there were a few prowlers and there were a few weirdos coming to threaten me at my front yard when I was talking to my lovely neighbour. And I realised in a split second he was in more danger than I, because he was out on the verge, because we were talking across the fence. In a split second, that man could have driven his van into him and killed him, and I wouldn't have had time to protect either of us. So after that, I've got freaking hockey sticks and pipes and poles everywhere. Anyone comes to threaten me on my home and land, I will fight to the death, and I won't even bother calling 000 because they don't turn up, and they don't respect a woman when she calls out for assistance. They call you crazy and a liar. And they literally tell you we can't do anything until you've been harmed. And then when you go after being harmed, like the sexual assault in Irish Murphys, a female detective tells you to go home and stay home and take up knitting, implying that you're too weak to be out dancing in the night. It's how degrading they are and vicious. I hope COVID takes them all out, but it hasn't, has it? Didn't take me out either, because I'm built strong and powerful in my core. Just home from Crystal's swapping car back to Mama. I could say something about that, but I won't. I'll let it go. It'll only fester and rot. But I was used for years. I was. So I will say it. I was used for years. I know it. I'm not oblivious. We watched Sex in the City, yawn, and I got grandma cuddles with Ramon the Rare and her landlady's ancient cat, Bruce, who was actually crying real tears. He was so happy for some affection. I got him to choose the goddess cards for my reading. Interesting choices, Bruce. Lots of stuff about spiritual evolution, leadership, and abundance. Curious and curiouser. I showed Crystal my new Alice in Wonderland cards, which I had not opened yet, and we were both stunned by the beautiful artworks. Too good to read. I think I will just keep them as part of my collection. I had them on lay-by for a few months, but I am thrilled with them. I brought Mischief in at 4:38 a.m, bloody crowing at the pink sunrise. He settled down at the foot of my bed until 9 a.m, then crowed some more, lustily. I have just let Boychik outside, as he was quiet again. Smiley face. He is a beautiful little man, but a royal pain in the ass. Crystal thinks I should ship him down to the rabbit rescue farm at Grafton. I might have to. 5th of November. Leaning on this table has made my arms sore. Aching arthritic joints because it's damp and grey today. My body doesn't like any modicum of discomfort. 5th of November 2013. Slept till 4 p.m. Then went in the garden, watered and fixed an odd job that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I put the black plastic under my shitty paving job, which I have to actually redo because it's all buckled, and replaced the black pebbles. My large fish pond is still green, so this is driving me nuts, but I replaced the barley straw, so we'll continue to battle the algae bloom organically. Seems to be a slight improvement with the calcium bentonite I put in it as well. Now a little weary from moving heavy pavers and being outside, lol. Can't possibly go back to bed, so contemplating A, cleaning house, or B, going out, lol. Jared Nielsen. Why even pretend housework is on the to-do list, lol? Everyone knows you'll decide to go out. Me. Listen here, young whippersnipper. Housework could be happening. I may have even done a few more dishes. Sniggers. 5th of November. He is right though. I probably did the dishes and then went out. 5th of I have to laugh. 5th of November 2010. I spent some nice quality time with Gail in between a few days of marathon sleeping. Yeah, so that's it for today. Just scroll back up. That's it for today. Oh, even though I thought it would be a shorter read today, it's still taken up an hour of all our time. Still, you know, I enjoy sharing my heartfelt philosophical musings and spiritual epiphanies and soul growth and heart growth and personal development with you, YouTube, with my friends, with my family, and with my subscribers, and anyone else who stumbles across my videos. I hope you gain value from them in some small or significant way. And yes, have a beautiful day on planet Earth and cycling through the Milky Way in a vast cosmos of space. May the extra-dimensionals and the intra-dimensionals and the ultra-dimensionals, the angels and the archangels, and let's not forget the elementals, must not forget them. May they nurture us and nourish us and bless us with peace, with safety, with true heartfelt love connections, with deep honouring soul connections, with our truest, deepest lovers that may manifest in 3D reality, in the real world, in time and space, and physicality. Not as fantasy men on the internet or, men who are unavailable to me by virtue of the fact that they are either gay or my psychiatrist or married men, but available to me for a melding and a merging of both sexual energy, spiritual energy, and emotional, mental energy. A man that can resonate and vibrate with my energy and my presence without scraping up his undies and bolting out the door terrified of my goddess energy. But I'm okay on my own. I have the dichotomy. I don't need you, but I might want you, whoever you might be in the future. But I don't need any man. If I want you, and I want you to be with me, and I want to be with you, and I'm able to make that commitment to you because you've shown true heartfelt intentions and demonstrated it consistently, and you've been kind, and you've been invested in my success as a woman and as a spirit, and you want the best for me, and you want my happiness, and you want my, you want me to experience joy in the highest of vibrations. You're willing to gift me pleasure unselfishly, unlike my first husband and only husband. If you're willing to hold space for me, And you can do that without insecurity and envy that I have, beautiful male friends in my life who are decent and honouring and actually platonic. You can do that without accusing me of sleeping with male friends like the last bloodless dog did, which was filthy on his part, by the way, especially at that time, as I had only eyes for him and I was so in love with him. To do that was just venal, I don't sleep around when I'm in love with someone. I don't sleep around ever. It's not who I am. But I don't have to justify myself to these filthy, degrading, perverted animals. I am who I am, and I am happy, and I am contented. And the right man would recognise that and, will treat me with deep honour and deep respect, so that the passion and the romance can bloom between us in a healthy, beautiful, emanating, evolving, life-affirming, love-affirming way. Maybe I'm idealistic and romantic and stupid and foolish and ridiculous. And maybe those are ideals that are worth holding out for. So, on the anniversary of labouring with my firstborn baby in the most excruciatingly terrifying and uncomfortable and discomforting way, the midwives literally had to send my husband home. He was being such a pig. I am cognizant of the kind of man I want to be my partner if there is one coming in my near future. He has to absolutely value and cherish and adore me and treat me with consistent kindness. It doesn't mean we're always going to agree on everything. I mean, there is no such thing as perfection, people. But it cannot be yet another crass, cowardly, low-life, scum abuser. I simply won't allow it. So on that note, that's my manifesto, my manifestations, my affirmations for the kind of man I want to draw to me in my energy. A beautiful man, beautiful in body, heart, face, mind and soul. Not just a pretty face, but a truly noble and honouring and delicious, delightful soul, like I experience with my true male friends, But this one will be a lover when he comes. And he won't be oily with it, and he won't be pushy with it. He'll take his time to honour me before he tries to throw the leg over, just saying. Because we've done that scene, and it's empty and vapoured, and they run away. They don't have what it takes to be my man. And I admit, it's a rare bird that can be my man sexually. A very rare bird. A king to my queen, like the auguries I'm being shown when my beautiful red king parrot visits to tell me, love is available for you, Tanya. Be ready. I'm trying to be ready, and I'm trying to stay very calm and circumspect and have equanimity, because it does rock my world when someone comes out of the blue and they start with almost immediately within days, start with their bullshit. I'm glad I was able to see it early on in the piece. It saved me a lot of suffering down the track. you know. I don't want soul attachments with men. I don't want soulmates or twin flames that run and run and run and cycle around and run and run and run, but never land because they're playing some sick, fucked up, perverted, karmic game. I don't want that. I'm okay by myself, and I am blessed and I am grateful, and I am the love I desire and need inside of me, and anyone that comes along that is willing to love me, you know, as a partner, has to recognise that love is a two-way thing, and it has to be real and authentic this time, because I'm done dealing with idiots and wastrels and liars and cheaters and scammers. You know, the last one that I was deeply in love with, I can't help feeling that he only was drawn to me because he thought I had money, because I had a brand new car I'd just inherited, you know. I had to fight hard for that car, 2.5 years. But these greedy, malevolent dogs see a woman out dancing, driving a brand new car, and he must have thought, ka-ching! So he bailed when he realised there was no other money, that all I had was my asset and my teeth and my fabulous attitude to life, you know. And I'm okay with that. I don't want a parasite that feeds off me because he thinks I'm some sugar mummy. If I had the money, I wouldn't want a parasite like that either, would I? So I'm grateful that the gods kept him at bay in the long run, in the long game. It spared me a lot of horror. Not quite enough sparing, but it was a good thing. It was a good thing. So now the best he can do is have his cousin dance around me, like the unholy imps they are. But, you know, fair's fair. The cousin didn't do anything really. Just wanted to soak up my goddess energies and run back and tattletale to that one, that I'm living my best life and he's not in it. Oh. And it is what it is. I will continue to live my best life. And the right man, eventually, will be in it. And he won't fuck me over. He won't, because he knows the price of that is too much. You know? Not that I'm malicious or vicious. I just walk away, continuously live my best life. But it is what it is. I'm kind of laughing at myself because I'm still processing. You know, it's been an intense year with what I call the sweetening of men stepping up, you know, wanting to be romantic out of the blue. That hasn't happened in many years, people. You know, we had the there's been a few this year that popped up at the casino. There was that Afghani man that told me I had to let go of my ex, which was rude of him since he doesn't know my history, has no right to tell me how to live my life. And then we had that lovely young Indigenous man. He was a beautiful, beautiful lad, but he was far too young for me, that insisted on handing me $30. And I said, what's that for? I don't need your money. And he said, I make $4,000 a week, and this is mere change, but go buy yourself a drink. So that was very sweet. And we danced and had a wonderful time all night long. And the casino regulars were pointing and laughing and mocking and deriding, probably because they're racist as well, who knows. And it was venal what went on, but he was a lovely young man. But I did not give him my phone number, or certainly didn't take him home, because he could have been my son, you know. But he turned out to be a lovely soul and a lovely young man. And again, that was another way shower to show me love is out there for me, even if sometimes they're too inordinately young, or sometimes too crazy, or sometimes too full on. So I have to abscond, you know. But I told that young man, that young Indigenous man, his name was Cecil, I said, you are a lovely man, and I have enjoyed your company this evening, and I bless you from Biami to find your truest, deepest love. But you're a little bit too young for me, my darling. And he nodded. He was a lovely young man. We had a lovely time together. So you see, not everything has to be, you know, not everything has to be sexual. It's hard for men though. I know it's hard when you've got that constant twinging in your loins, wanting to, divest yourself of pent-up sperm. I get it. I do understand that constant itching drive, libido. You know, women have that too sometimes when they're wanting sex. They have that constant drive down in their loins too. You know, we are human beings. We are animals. We do have libidos. Some of us had to suppress our libidos, not by choice really, but to survive. And so if that flowering, that unfurling of my libido happens, oh dear goddess, it can be frightening. It can be frightening to a man. To make love to a woman in full primal goddess energy who's opened up her sexuality after a long period of abstinence. That's how I terrorized our Dave, you know, 10 years ago. It was nearly 10 years ago. Yeah, it was a desire and a lust and a passion that he'll never fucking forget. He dishonoured my passion and my love and my lust. But don't worry, that motherfucker will never forget. I know that for a fact. So, you know, trawling around me, circling around me for years he did, even though we weren't lovers anymore. We didn't continue with that. He was constantly getting right up in my face. He knew what he fucked up, and that was his curse. Don't fuck with Tanya unless you really mean to make love to her and sustain it with heartfelt, pure intentions, not just the love lust, but the whole kit and caboodle, literally. Kit and caboodle. But yeah, no. Man hasn't been born yet that can handle me. That's the reality. And I'm okay with that. It's a bit concerning when men 30 years younger come and want to be my lover, because I'm thinking the gods are like teasing, saying, well, here is a man that's been born that wants to handle you. And I go, that's indecent. He could be my baby. I could have been holding him in my arms, you know, next to my daughter in the crib in Wellington Women's Hospital. And of course, men don't look at it that way. They see you as a sexual conquest, you know. But I've had far too many young men in the past few years popping up wanting to seduce me, and it's been a bit creepy, quite frankly. It's been a bit weird. I mean, young Cecil was lovely, but it was weird. I told him so too. You're far too young for me, you know. And he was wise. He said, oh, but we're just dancing and having a lovely time, you know, because he knew that I would relax then. And I did. we did. I did chill out, did relax. We did dance. We did have a lovely time. And then, there were a couple of little signs other men popped up. And then there was that man, Cedric, that when I nearly got slammed with a truck on the 9th of August, just after Beauregard died. I'd had my debrief with my doctor, with Brian, and I was driving out of his clinic and this truck nearly slammed into me. So I went to Garden City to have something to eat and calm my nerves, because I was literally shaking from head to toe in a complete trauma state, because I knew I came close to dying in that moment. And this man approached me and was chatting to me. We had a lovely platonic interaction. So yes, and then this internet personage came along recently. So these are all the signs from the God's people that that I'm drawing in lovely men who are showing interest. But depending on how I perceive their heartfelt intentions or their interactions, because I have to be very self-protective, I'm fending them by and large off, because I'm waiting for the right person that won't play games or trigger me, that won't do the lurid seduction thing and leave me for dead. Because I can't go there. I can't. Just can't. But, all the signs that the fortune tellers told me years ago that they said would happen before I met the one have now already happened. They said that my dog would die and I would be distraught. They said that I would nearly get killed in a terrible accident with a truck. That came true. They said that I would have an illness, and during the course of that illness, someone would pop up and, show interest. That came true. I'm trying to think what else they said. They said it would literally be like dominoes falling, bing, 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 bing. And as each thing happened, it would be like, don't freak out, because this is the sign, and this is the next step, and this is the next step. And I must admit, I have freaked out. I've done a lot of freaking out, because it came so thick and fast after Beauregard's death that it's literally been like hitting the ground running, It's been a shock to the system. But the beautiful thing is, witnessing the true heartfelt love from my friends, my friend and alter egos, and from other friends out in the scene, and the true heartfelt honouring intentions of people around me, at a time when my own daughter is estranged from me, because she didn't believe me when I said to her that I think I'm dying, called me a liar. So it's a very stupid thing to do, to tell me that I'm a liar and that I'm wrong about feeling like I'm dying, because my ill health is cumulative and valid, But anyway, I'm going to see the urologist at the on the 23rd of November, and then my next plan is I plan to go to New Zealand for a weekend in February, and basically say hello and goodbye for the first and last time in 20 years to New Zealand, just in case I don't make it, right? And so I've got to get myself through till February, till I can have that long weekend home. And then whatever happens after that happens. If I get healthier and more vibrant, and if my truly loving life partner appears in my life and shows up and keeps up and stays up and holds up and chooses to be with me, over and above, all other possibilities and potentials, because he truly loves me. If that should manifest, fine and dandy. And if it doesn't, I'm quite happy to go down to or up to Valhalla with grace and dignity and honour and peace. Shalom. Knowing that I lived my life as triumphantly and joyously and beautifully as I could manifest given my circumstances for the last 29 years, that I gave it my all, that I even took up the silversmithing and tried to get myself financial independence. It hasn't manifested because the economy's shit and I didn't do well at the markets, and that might not be my path, but I keep making things anyway for my own pleasure and enjoyment. But the right man will be decent to me, and he'll be proud and happy to have me on his arm. Even though I can be rough and I swear and I drink Jack Daniels and I dance wildly for hours and hours and hours, he will delight in that. He won't be threatened by that, He won't be threatened by my occasional vents of anger when righteously called upon. He won't be threatened by my love. He won't be threatened by my friends. He won't be threatened by the love I have for my bird or any other pets I might invite into my life. Like the last idiot was actually jealous of my dog too. I mean, it was insane. The whole thing was insane. He won't be threatened by my intellect. He won't be threatened by my emotions. And he certainly won't be threatened by my primal goddess sexuality when we conjoin and commune that way. And he'll do that in such a way that won't trigger me and make me feel like I'm being violated or oppressed or controlled, so that I can unleash my most joyful sexuality in the most beautiful, honouring, life-affirming way. Because otherwise, why would you bother? Why settle for less? Why settle for the crumbs from some other woman's table, like when the married ones used to trawl after me? Why would I want that? I'm deserving of la crème de la crème, the best of the best. And unfortunately, because of my poverty issues, living in housing commission on a disability pension, most men downgrade and devalue me and don't see me for the jewel I really am. The ruby shining in the muck and the mire, waiting for someone to notice my true value. That's on them though, isn't it? It's got nothing to do with me. That's all on them and their crass, superficial perceptions. So on that note, beautiful souls of planet Earth, friends, family, countrymen, thrivers, survivors, gloriously, upwardly evolving, spiraling lovers, I'm going to say goodbye for today. Have a beautiful day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the space-time continuum. God's bless us all on this glorious, glorious day and in this glorious, glorious moment. Blessed be in all dimensions of time, space, and existence in this 3D reality. Because keep it real, people. Keep it always a little bit real. Love you all. Bye for now.